Greetings, everybody. If you clicked on this video, you probably already know that on February 23rd, 2023, a freight train carrying toxic chemicals derailed in East Palestine, Ohio. The chemicals spilled and were burned, causing nearby residents to be evacuated. In this video, I will tell you from an air quality and human health standpoint what we know, what we don't know, and what we can do about it. And I will say, this event is just the tip of the iceberg. It really is. Welcome to the Healthy Home Guide. This is a place where I share practical tips for creating a safe and healthy home. Please go ahead and like this video and subscribe because it does help me out a lot. Before I start, I want to be clear about one thing, okay? I'm not here to blame anyone. The EPA is doing what they can with the resources that they have. If you're interested in a witch hunt, go watch the news. They're great for that. With that said, let's get into it. Firstly, I'm skeptical of anyone who is projecting the image that this event is under control and that we can know its impacts. How do I explain this? Like, the level of complexity involved in releasing numerous toxic chemicals into an open environment is honestly staggering. And it's something that would take many years to properly study if it could ever be fully understood. We don't even currently have the resources to properly study it. What we would need in order to even begin to understand this event is, first of all, extensive air sampling. This is basically just collecting air in steel containers and then analyzing it in a lab to get accurate assessments of what chemicals are present and in what concentrations. We'd need air samples taken during the event, after the event, at numerous time points, at the crash site, downwind and upwind of the crash site, at various elevations, and honestly, all over the country. So thousands of air samples from many different places taken at different times. This is not currently realistic, okay? But my point is, that's what we need to actually begin to understand this event. All right, I made my point. Now let's talk about the chemicals that were released into the air. A controlled burn of the spilled vinyl chloride was conducted by emergency officials, okay, which released byproducts hydrogen chloride and phosgene. They are toxic gases that tend to dissipate relatively quickly. We know that. What we don't know are all the other combustion byproducts that were produced. One of them was likely dioxins, which are created from burning chlorinated carbon materials. Dioxins can cause cancer and many other health problems. Dioxins do not dissipate quickly. They stay in the environment and in our bodies for years without breaking down. They have been a huge environmental problem in the US. So when I'm told chemicals were released, the next question I ask is how much of that chemical do we need to be exposed to in order for health problems to occur? Well, there are established exposure limits to toxic chemicals such as hydrogen chloride, but these limits tend to be for only acutely noticeable short-term effects. We don't know much about low-grade, longer-term exposure limits for such chemicals. I don't believe anyone who says that if my exposure is below a certain threshold, that I'm definitely safe. For those of us who are already interested in environmental health, the events in East Palestine are not entirely new. Dioxin emission, among many other types of pollution, happens every day already on a massive scale. That's why I say this story goes deeper than you might think. It's not clickbait. The health effects of such pollution is an active and growing area of research, fortunately. From countless research studies already, We know that these harmful substances in the air are exacerbating or triggering chronic illnesses. And by the way, okay, the Center of Disease Control estimates that 60% of US adults live with chronic illness. That is crazy. That's most adults. I believe that a significant portion of that 60% is sick at least partially from low-grade exposure to toxic substances. If you're newly concerned about this, join the club. So what can you do? That's the question. Well, you might not be able to single-handedly purify the environment, but you're not powerless. You can improve your own home's environment. Start there. There are so many ways to make your home healthier, and that's exactly what my channel is about. I'm constantly learning new information in this realm as new data and tools emerge. So subscribe to my channel and let's learn together. If you appreciated my take, go ahead and like this video and comment if you have anything to add. Thanks for watching.